All right, let's dive in. If you're running a Shopify store or pretty much any direct-to-consumer brand, you already know that handling the money side of things can feel, well, like a total nightmare. So today, we're going to demystify e-commerce accounting. We'll break down what you actually need to know to stay on the right side of the law, save a ton of time, and use your financial data to really grow your business.
Let's just be real for a minute. Does looking at your books make your head spin? If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are not alone. For so many entrepreneurs, this is one of the biggest headaches they deal with, day in and day out.
And I'm willing to bet some of these symptoms look pretty familiar. You're trying to figure out these super confusing sales tax rules, you don't really trust the numbers in your financial reports, you've got this nagging worry about compliance risks, and you're just pouring hours into manual data entry. And you know the worst part? You might not even have a crystal clear picture of how much money you're actually making.
So what gives? Why is this all so ridiculously hard? Well, it's because e-commerce finance really is like navigating a maze. But here's the thing. Finding your way through it isn't just about dodging trouble, it's absolutely critical for unlocking real growth for your business.
And look, if you take just one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Getting your accounting right isn't just some boring back-office chore. Nope. It is how you stay compliant, it's how you lower your tax bill, and it's how you get that clear financial visibility you need to make the smart decisions that actually move the needle.
So where in the world do we start? It all comes down to building a solid foundation. Let's talk about the core bookkeeping framework that every single Shopify store needs to have in place.
You know, it really boils down to three essential things. First, you need consistent monthly bookkeeping. This keeps your records straight and your financial statements dependable. Second is payroll management, making sure your team gets paid right and on time. And third, you need professional tax prep and filing to cut down your risks and liabilities.
And here's just a simple way to look at it. You have to think of these three services as a system that works together. Your monthly bookkeeping creates the clean, accurate data you need for seamless payroll and tax filing. They all feed into each other to keep your business financially healthy.
Okay, let's talk about the big one, taxes. For e-commerce brands, especially if you're selling all across the country, this can seriously feel like you're trying to tame a wild beast.
So what's the real problem here? It's that every single state plays by its own set of rules. We're talking different sales tax rates, different rules for when you have to start collecting tax, that's what they call nexus, and totally different filing deadlines. Trying to keep up with all that by hand? It's basically a recipe for huge costs and, yeah, some pretty scary penalty risks.
And this is exactly why you can't just set it and forget it. The tax world is always changing. This quote really hits the nail on the head. Staying on top of it all isn't just about compliance. It's a strategic move that protects your business and your bottom line.
I mean, this slide lays out the choice pretty clearly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got manual filing, which is super risky, takes forever, and it's nearly impossible to keep up. And on the other side, you've got tax automation tools that plug right into Shopify, apply the right tax rates automatically, and slash the chances of making a mistake. For most brands that are trying to grow, the choice is, well, it's a no-brainer.
Okay, so we've covered the must-dos, the compliance stuff. Now let's get to the really exciting part. How to use your financial data to actually grow your business and make way smarter decisions.
The magic word here is real time. Think about it. When you have access to financial reports that are updated to the minute, you are no longer driving your business by looking in the rearview mirror. You've got instant metrics that let you spot trends, manage your cash, and react to opportunities or problems so much faster.
One of the most powerful tools in your arsenal is your profit and loss statement, or P&L. By just looking this over regularly, you can see exactly where your money is coming from and where it's going. It's how you spot which products have the best margins and what hidden costs might be quietly eating away at your profits.
And just as important, maybe even more so, is your cash flow. You know, profit on a spreadsheet is great, but cash in the bank is what pays the bills and your team. Real-time cash flow tracking lets you see a potential shortage before it actually happens, so you can manage your payments and keep your suppliers happy.
So we've talked about bookkeeping, taxes, and smart financial management. What's the secret weapon that actually ties all this together and makes it feel, possible? In a word, automation.
First and foremost, automation just slashes the number of manual errors. Every time you type a number by hand, there's a chance for a tiny mistake. A mistake that could mess up your inventory, your tax filings, or your whole understanding of whether you're making money or not.
Of course, it also saves you and your team an incredible amount of time. And that's time you can now pour back into things like marketing,
developing new products, and talking to your customers. You know, the stuff that actually grows your business instead of just recording what already happened. And this is huge. It keeps your books current all the time. That means you're not waiting until the end of the month to figure out where you stand. You have that real-time visibility we were just talking about, which lets you make smarter decisions way faster.
So when you pull it all together, you can see automation isn't just some nice-to-have feature. It's an absolutely essential tool. It cuts down on the grunt work, makes closing your books at the end of the month a breeze, syncs all your sales data from Shopify, keeps your tax calculations up to date, and frees up your people to work on a much higher level.
Which brings us to one final thought to leave you with. When you combine that solid bookkeeping foundation with smart tax solutions and powerful automation, you completely change the game. You transform accounting from being just another cost center into what could honestly be your single best investment for growth. So the real question is, how are you treating it in your business?